Hello everyone, welcome to today's practice for wisdom in the midst of difficulties. So as usual, following today's practice, it will be saved to the wellness timeline and it will be shortly added to the wellness YouTube channel as well, so you can watch again, listen again throughout the week. You'll find all the practices on the YouTube channel as well, with more added regularly there. So today's practice for wisdom in the midst of difficulties is a visualization practice, taking us back to our innate wisdom and our innate sense of compassion that we may have lost touch with along the way and through our life experiences. So beyond conflicts and difficulties, there's the capacity to step outside of that difficulty and into your own wisdom and innate knowledge that's there but may be well buried. So we were born without difficulty in a place of inner peace and happiness. And some of that gets lost along the way of our life's journey through our experiences. But we can get back in touch with that through our mindfulness practice. And you'll find as you go through life and face difficulties, you often become a little consumed by the mind states, thoughts and judgments that arise around that difficulty, about how things aren't supposed to be this way or how you'd want things to be instead. And this is all perfectly normal, but it's often not that helpful. So this mindset takes away our patience and our compassion and our wisdom, all these innate states of mind that cultivate peace and that we were born with, but we've just lost touch with through our lifetime experience. So our reaction, our natural reaction when we're faced with difficulty, is often one of preservation. The mindset of preservation, although it's biologically helpful, keeps us out of danger, it isn't often very helpful for our mental well-being. So the body tends to be held tightly and to become stressed. The response of the sympathetic nervous system that wants the fight, flight or freeze response to kick in to either remove us from difficulty, hide us from difficulty, or fight our way out of difficulty. And the mind, because of that self-preservation response and the body's response, often focuses on what must be done to help this situation, what activity is necessary to solve this activity, to solve this difficulty. But sometimes activity isn't necessary and isn't always the best chance to solve a difficulty or move through a difficulty mindfully. Sometimes that self-preservation isn't the right response. We can instead turn to choose towards our wisdom and compassion and kindness for ourselves and for others, and to really feel into the truth of a situation instead of being caught in those thoughts and the commentary that often goes along with a difficulty. Instead, taking a moment to observe the truth of a situation and a difficulty instead of just reacting automatically from our learned experience. This is where a mindful response starts to become a lot more helpful for our physical and mental well-being. So as I said at the start, today's practice is one of visualization, recalling a difficulty that we're facing currently or one that may be in the past but perhaps we haven't resolved or moved through completely. And we'll call upon our innate qualities of wisdom, compassion and kindness in the form of another being, helping us to see things differently, more calmly and with a direct experience. So we take our attachments, our commentary and our thoughts out of the scene, and we watch how our innate qualities of inner peace can be more helpful when facing a difficulty. So if we start today's practice, bringing yourself as usual into your comfortable meditation posture, sitting either in a chair or on the floor on a cushion, hands resting traditionally, one hand on top of the other, thumbs gently touching, can be either way, or you can just have the palms facing up or down, resting in the lap, as long as the shoulders and arms are supported. Feet are flat on the floor if you're seated in a chair. Your back's nice and straight, but there's no tension there in the spine. Just help yourself to settle in. Gently close your eyes and tilt your head down as if you're looking towards the knees. And take a few deep breaths of relaxation. Use your exhale to allow the body to sink into the meditation posture. Letting go of any tension that you may have brought with you today. Focusing around the forehead and the eyebrows. Consciously relaxing there. Relax through the jawline, parting your teeth to let go of any tension. And as you breathe out, relax the shoulders. Let your shoulders become soft. And relax, being aware of how you're holding your pelvis and hips. Let the chair or the cushion do all the work. Just soften your body into the chair. And then relax through the legs. Feel grounded through the feet. Let your breathing come back slowly to its natural pattern. And spend a few moments bringing your attention down into the body and observing the breathing pattern. It's that rhythm of in and out breath. And if you become distracted, just notice where you've gone and keep bringing your attention back to the breath. Focus in on feeling the air as it flows naturally in and out of your nostrils. And notice the movements in the body, in the belly and the chest, with each in and out breath. Settle the mind inwards. And when you feel settled, focus on the breath. Start to visualize a period or an ongoing difficulty that you faced in your life. Try to picture the scene clearly in your mind. It may be a difficulty that you faced alone, or it could be involving one or more other people, something that may be ongoing, or something from the past that feels unresolved. Call that difficulty to mind as clearly as you can. Spend a moment building the scene in your mind. Be aware of whether you're alone or with others. Notice whether you're speaking or listening. Be aware of whether you're inside or outside. Start to build the scene, noticing whether it's day or night, whether you're sitting or standing at this moment. And as you build the scene in your mind, when you face a time of difficulty, start to notice how your body feels. Notice if there's any tension or tightness building in the body. Any feelings of discomfort. Notice any changes in your breathing. Be aware of your heart rate. Really take in how the body feels in response to picturing a time of difficulty in your mind. We're not trying to push anything away. Not trying to force any feelings out of awareness. Just become familiar with how your body responds to a scene of difficulty that you faced. Notice if there's a particular part or area in your body that reacts most strongly. When you picture the difficulty, just really become aware of your bodily response. And now spend a moment noticing and acknowledging any thoughts and any emotions that arise in response to the difficulty. And again, just try to acknowledge everything. Any good or bad thoughts, any difficult or uncomfortable emotions, allow them to arise into awareness and be acknowledged. There are no right or wrong thoughts or emotions in this practice. Just allow everything to be as it is. And as you hold this visualization, this image or scene of a time of difficulty clearly in your mind, start to notice that another person, another being, is approaching the scene, walking slowly towards you and any others that are present in the scene. Imagine yourself standing, excusing yourself from the scene of difficulty, speaking up. Allow yourself to be removed from the scene. Turn towards this being that is approaching. This being is a figure of compassion, and of innate wisdom. It might be a friend, parent, or a grandparent. It may be a religious figure, Jesus or Buddha, anyone who represents the best of compassion and wisdom for you. As the being walks towards you, they greet you kindly and lead you away from the scene of difficulty. This being asks you with kindness how you are and how you're feeling. The being offers to take your place in this scene of difficulty, saying, "Let me show you how I would handle this difficulty. Watch how I would resolve this difficulty." The luminous being, this person of compassion and great wisdom, walks back towards your scene of difficulty and takes your place as you watch. Notice how this being of wisdom and compassion places himself into your scene of difficulty. Notice how they stand, how they hold themselves. Notice how their body reacts to the difficulty. Try to clearly visualize this being embodying wisdom and compassion as they show you how they would handle this difficulty and how they would move through difficult or painful times. Be aware of how this compassionate and wise being feels their bodily response in this difficulty. Notice what they say, how they listen. Notice how they respond and how they act as they take your place in this time of difficulty. when this compassionate and wise being has done what they can do. Watch them stand and excuse themselves from the scene of difficulty as you did. The wise and compassionate being stands with you and gives you a clear symbol of exactly what it is that you need to help you manage and progress through your difficulty. It's a gift that they are giving to you. Try to imagine what it is that they will give to you to help you through the difficulty that you are facing. Imagine what it is that this being took with them into the scene of difficulty that you too may be able to use. Try to really imagine this gift that you've been given by the wise and compassionate being, and allow yourself to see what it is that you need to make your way through difficulty. And before you part, the compassionate and wise being offers you some advice. Allow yourself to imagine, sense, or hear their words of kindness and wisdom for you. Having received the advice and the gift from the compassionate being, and watch their actions as they took your place in the scene of difficulty. Allow that compassionate and wise being to depart. Allow yourself to rest, knowing that you have the wisdom and compassion to guide you through any difficulty that you may face. And that you can call upon this luminous being, this figure of great compassion and innate wisdom, whenever you want. It is within you every step of the way. slowly arise from your meditation, gently opening your eyes. It can be a great comfort, this practice, to imagine the luminous being of great compassion and wisdom is always with us. And whether you're practicing a formal meditation or just moving through a difficulty in everyday life, you can imagine these qualities of innate wisdom and compassion are always with you, as if this being that you imagined is sitting next to you. Anytime, they're always with you. You always have the gift and the advice that you need to move mindfully through difficulty. Thank you very much for joining me today. And I will see you again next week for another mindfulness practice at Tuesday lunchtime. Thank you.